KwaZulu-Natal authorities are counting the cost of the damage caused by the heavy rain and flooding as mop-up operations get underway. More than 300 people have died following the deadly storms. Scores of families are stranded and many have been without water or electricity. The Provincial Department of Co-operative Governance in KZN has appealed to affected families to refrain from returning to disaster-stricken areas. Yesterday, President Cyril Ramaphosa visited the province, which has since been declared a disaster area. 12 people have been arrested after 2 retail outlets were broken into and looted last night in Umlazi Township, south of Durban. The incident, which left several retail outlets completely empty, also saw some community members helping themselves to containers that were washed away by floods. The suspects have been arrested for charges of business burglary and possession of stolen property. Well, for more on this story, we cross now to my colleague Nozintombi Miya, who has been covering the story in KZN. She's currently in Shellcross. Thanks very much for joining us, Nozintombi. Just give us a sense of what's happening where you are currently.
You know, Nopu, as the day progresses, we've seen scenes of devastation and we've seen scenes of poor people desperate to try and get assistance, desperate to try and to get water. But where we're standing right now really signals it's such a symbolic view of the sheer visual representation of the devastation that the thunderstorm has caused. The road that we're standing on right now is a road that leads from Shellcross to Queensborough, and that road has completely broken down. And I'm going to ask my camera colleague KwaZulu-Natal to show you that where we're standing is literally on the edge of the road, where the road ends and where the bridge, the bridge that was carrying cars was supposed to start. It has completely collapsed. There is no access in and out. It is exacerbating and contributing to the chaos that we're seeing on the roads, to the traffic that we're seeing on the roads. We have seen a few pedestrians trying to cross the road or trying to cross into the river to try and get whatever it is that they can. It is a little bit dangerous, but I am going to ask my camera colleague KwaZulu-Natal to show you literally we're standing feet away from the edge of where the bridge has collapsed. And again, the sense of desperation and hopelessness from community members here who are saying that government here, local government, is not doing enough to try and ensure that they are getting some sort of assistance from them in terms of getting help and in terms of getting any form of assistance. And Nopu, I have with me here some of the community members. This gentleman, Sbu, is one of the gentlemen that we spoke to and we saw come here to this part of the bridge. He says he's been stranded on this side of the road because he hasn't been able to get to the other side because the bridge has completely collapsed. Hi, Praspunjani. It's been a struggle for you to try and cross the road. You've been trying to get to the other side and you just cannot.
Because they had a damage. Now when I'm trying to go, I'm using this road because I thought now when I'm trying, I I thought I was going to try and go to this other side. Even these people are the municipalities workers, so we are stuck.
So Nompu, just to explain what Sbu is saying here, and while I'm trying to explain that, I want KwaZulu-Natal to pan down to Sbu's pants. Sbu's pants were just by his knees because he was knee length into this moving body of water. And he says the reason why he was knee length into this body of water is because he was trying to go and find assistance for a friend of his who lives on the other side, whose house is completely collapsed. And now when we saw you, you were knee deep in the water.
Yes, I was knee deep.
What made you change your mind and come out and not go?
It was too risky. It was too risky. The water was coming this side, so I couldn't risk it.
So how are you going to know what's wrong with your friend? Because we do know that connectivity is a problem and people are struggling to get access to each other over the networks.
Now the problem is I have to change the road and go. Let's go back now. It's gonna be very hard because I'm going this side now. I have to go back and go
Way to the other side.
Yes.
And the municipal workers themselves, how are municipal workers going to assist the community if they themselves cannot cross this body of water?
I don't know, but the people that been this road has been having problem for a long time. This road, and people have been complaining about this road, but the municipality never did anything in this community. 2017 we had same floods that happened here, and then they say they're fixing. If you can see this pavement is still new.
Yeah.
They're trying to say they're fixing it. They never fix.
Yeah.
The house that have been damaged even in Umlazi, it's been a house that have been damaged even in 2017.
Yeah.
So the question is, what happened to that man that they were saying they're fixing? Until today, they're still having this problem again.
Do you have confidence in your municipality to be able to assist? At this point, do you have confidence in that?
Right now, I lost hope for the municipality. If things are like this, I've lost hope for our Ethekwini municipality.
You know, the sad reality is that the weather services is saying that there's going to be further flooding from tomorrow. And that means that we're going to see further scenes of devastation. What hope do you have that anything will be done to help community members in need already from the devastation from this week and further devastation that's expected to happen over the weekend?
There is no hope in our municipality right now. If it happens, we're still going to see more bodies. You're still going to see more bodies. One of my friends in Sand, they told me they found the body of a young boy. I think he had the problem with indoor mans or shower mans.
Yeah.
So we're still going to
He drowned.
we're still going to see a lot of bodies. Even them themselves as a municipality, they cannot do anything. They can't do magic over the weekend. And people, churches, they must cancel this Easter conversation conference that they are doing.
Yeah.
This is for the sake of the people and the sake of the people. We must just cancel Easter.
Yeah.
If the train is coming, let us cancel the Easter.
Before I let you go, Sbu, what do you think government needs to do? Where do you think they need to come in? What do you think they need to do? Because releasing money is simply not enough. What do you think they need to do?
The only thing that they need, they mustn't stay in their comfortable chairs. They must go where the people are and address the problem with the government that we've got is the problem that they ignore the cry of the people.
Yeah.
Once they stop ignoring the cry of the people and listen to the people, don't send these small boys who are Florida Road entertainers.
Yeah.
Come and see the cry of the people. The ignorance of our government is where it's put here.
Yes.
Government is so ignorant. So the complaint of the people is not for the first time we complain for such.
Thank you so much, Sbu. We're going to leave it there. Thank you very much for speaking to me. Again, Nompu, you know, what we're seeing on the edge, literally on the edge of the road that is completely broken. This symbolizes the state of the KwaZulu-Natal coastline, broken on the edge, without access between the bridge, between the main road, with no hope, municipal workers unable to get from one point to the other, and community members lost without hope and feeling that they themselves will not be able to get any assistance, disenchanted with local leaders, disenchanted with the assistance that they claim should be given to them, in light of the fact that there is anticipation of further rainfall over this Easter weekend. Nompu.
Yeah. Nozintombi, it's very positive that Sbu had the mindset to decide not to continue in the water, but that's more of a statement rather than a question. But thank you very much for your crossing. Nozintombi Miya there, our environmental reporter reporting from KZN. Let's cross now to my colleague Vusi Khumalo, who's in Kwandengezi. The Ethekwini mayor has been assessing the damage there. Good afternoon, Vusi.
So to mitigate that, we are starting to Good afternoon, Nompu. Yes, indeed, we are here nearby Kwandengezi. The area is called Impola, just west of Durban. Well, the mayor is here, the mayor of Ethekwini municipality, Mr. Mxolisi Kaunda, is also with his counterparts, who is here to assess the extent of the damage. As we know that the infrastructure, the property, the businesses have been broken as a result of the devastating floods that have been taking place here in KwaZulu-Natal as from last week on Friday. But matters came to a head, especially on Monday night, when a lot of businesses suffered as a result of these floods that have been taking place since from last week. So the damage is also perhaps estimated to be running into millions of rands, if not billions of rands, because of the damage having suffered here in the KwaZulu-Natal, especially Durban. As we know that Durban is one of the hardest hit areas when it comes to the floods that have been taking place here in KwaZulu-Natal. Let me talk to a few victims of the floods just to hear how is the situation, how are they coping in these difficult times. Let me start with wena mama. Ngicela nje mama kafushane igama nesibongo nokuthi wena lezi ikhukhula zikhahlameze kangakanani.
Mina nguNonkululeko ngwakaNgcobo isibongo eMpola. Ikhukhula zingikhathamazeke kakhulu, angikwazi ngisho ukuhamba kunalo ngishiceke amanzi kuyimanje ashaya khona endlini kungasihambile namanje futhi ngahamba kusukela ngoba iyalenga kumanje. And lapha ngiboni ngisho emahlweni ngiyayigulela nogesi njoba singanawo, ngiboni ngisho emahlweni khona ngingaphuma ebusuku angazi ngizophuma ngishone ngakuphi ngoba ngihamba kabuhlungu bengiphelezelwe ingane namanje ukuza lana angiboni emahlweni.
Okay, nangu uhulumeni, nangu umnumzana uKhaunda njengemeya yakho, zikhona mhlambe nezinye iphathimandla esezizafeza ubheka umonakalo nokuthi zithini ithembiso nokuthi yini kahle hle ufuna bakusize ngayo?
Ikhansela lifikile lizobheka mabe ngase bangilungisele nje bakithi ngibe nendawo eright ngendlela okuyiyona, angazi ngizoqala ngakuphi ngempela. Angilali ngisho ubuthongo kuyimanje ebusuku nje angilali kuze kuse ngihleli lokho kwaqala lemvula nje angikwazi ukulala ngoba nalento esikuyona leyo mxhaso ingahamba nayo noma kusukela noma inini zontathu nje lezi zinto ziyahamba nje straight ziyalenga.
Okay, just briefly here, Umama is saying that she's got a sleepless night. She's got 3 houses upon which all of them are under threat because they were destroyed, they were damaged by the floods that have been taking place in KwaZulu-Natal. Let me baba ngikhulume nje afushane wena umonakalo umngakanani ubani igama nesibongo kuqala?
Samuel Dangisi oyisekhomsala eMpola.
Kuhamba kanjani esimweni sakho baba?
Isimo sami sike kwabhidlika umuzi ongenhla kwami, kwazolimaza umuzi lo esekhaya. Kwabulaleka umuzi wamakhelwane uwile ngeke. Washaya lo wasekhaya kwazolimala ikhishi. Kwagcwala amanzi. Okunzima kakhulu imoto zomsebenzi akusebenzi ngisho eyodwa. Zivalelekile ngaphakathi. Ngokulimala komgaqo izona ezivalelekile nje kakhulu, izona ngisho ingane ezisebenza abakwazi ngisho ukuphuma kuba emsebenzini, umgaqo uvalelekile angikwazi ukwenza lutho.
So nazi iphathimandla zikhona manje, bakhona seke bafike bazobheka umonakalo nokuthi kumi kanjani, nakho usubona iphathimandla efana noKhaunda, yini kahle hle ozoyinxusa kubona?
Into ebengizayinxusa nje okokuqala nje kakhulu ukuthi mhlambe bake basivulele nje just lo mgaqo ukuthi kube khona indawo ukuphuma khona imoto, ngoba noma kukhona ongapheleli awukwazi ukwenza lutho. Uphinde futhi kuzothi umonakalo sokhona ukulimala komuzi nokulimala kwempahla nomakhelwane esinabo la balinyalelwe kakhulu. Mina lapha ekhaya umuzi nje ubhidlizwe womuntu ulemale ngishikhisho kwayolimala impahla yonke impahla ingaphandle. Kodwa nje okwarishe kakhulu indaba yokusebenza enginayo, akuphumi ngisho itekisi, akuphumi ngisho imoto simanga somgaqo.
Okay, siyabonga kakhulu baba.
Masisiza nje lo ngalokho nje basilungisele umgaqo ukwazi ukuthi ziphume imoto. Okwamanzi nogesi yonke into asinayo. Sihleli nje ngempela sinalutho.
Okay, one of the many residents here is saying that they've got no water, they've got no electricity, and the incident that took place around his house was that a neighbor's house fell or collapsed or caved into his house, making his fleet of 12 taxis being unable to go through, and his taxis, his business for taxis is now suffering as a result of not going through to also operate in this locality of Mpola as well as Durban. Let me talk to the mayor now, who's here to assess the extent of the damage. What have you found so far in your preliminary reports?
Yes, what we have identified is our infrastructure, which have been severely affected by these floods. As you can see, this road where we are, it's an access road, so people can't even access vehicles which deliver food around the area. So our teams are zooming into the areas like this to fix what needs to be fixed. Of course, there will be short-term, medium-term, and long-term interventions. So this damage that we see here is part of the long-term, medium-term interventions that we'll be doing. But for now, we have recalled our teams from other places to come and fix the water challenge, to come and fix the pipe which is leaking direct to somebody's property, which may also have severe damages in that property. So therefore, we are working flat out. But we'd like to appeal to our communities, Mtungwa, that our communities should cooperate with us, because during this devastating period, we require more collaboration rather than public protest, people blocking the roads because they are demanding water, they are demanding electricity. We have explained that more than 3 big substations of electricity have been severely affected. As a result, we can't provide that service. Our teams are working flat out to fix those 3 stations. They affect even businesses and communities around the area of Bluff and the Sipingo. So these are kind of interventions we are making. Umgeni Water is also experiencing a challenge of their aqueduct, their bulk pipes, which are 2 in the main, which are not operational as we speak. They have been broken. So as a result, they are fixing that. On our side, we are working with our electricity team to fix electricity in Inanda Dam, because we need to pump water from that dam so that we can distribute it to at least half population of Ethekwini, which is not happening as we speak. So our teams have been there since yesterday. They are promising that they may be fixing that during the day today. So we are hopeful that once we fix that, we'll start having some of the dams being filled so that we can be able to start providing water. The most areas which have been affected here, you talk about Pantown, you talk about areas of Claremont, Kwatabega, you talk about Reservoir Hills, and many areas. You talk about Kwamakuta, Ensimbini, Umlazi area, and many other areas in the south and here in the west which have been affected. So our teams are working flat out. But what we are appealing for, let us work together instead of listening to organizations on the ground which are mobilizing people to protest, and that protest on its own does not assist us to deliver, because it makes us to be unable to deliver to those commitments that we have made, because our electricity teams need to zoom into those areas where there are challenges and fix our electricity that have been damaged and fix our water pipes. So once you block the road, you are actually sending a message that you don't need help, and the city is here to help. So therefore, let's work together, collaborate with everybody, churches, to provide meals to those who are located in our community halls. Some are accommodated in churches and schools. So we need to provide meals to those people, to those communities. We are doing our level best to ascertain that those communities get our help.
And in some instances, Mr. Mayor, had to contend with the issue of looting at Tumlas and other areas as well.
Yeah, I think the people are over really exaggerating, because the looting they are referring to, the first looting which we were able to contain, it was at Umgeni at Mr. Price. So our police responded swiftly to ensure that we confiscate even the vehicle that was used to take goods from there, and we arrested people. Next to the south, next to Mecca City as well, we have arrested more than 4 people there. Police have done the good work, but people in the social media, they want to spread this so that people start getting mobilized to initiate other lootings activities. So it is not going to help anyone. In its nature, looting shade away jobs, looting shade away businesses, looting shade away investments. So therefore, we need to preserve investments in our areas, because people beyond this need their job back. For them to retain to their workplaces, we must save those jobs, we must save those properties, we must save those companies.
And also in other areas which have not yet received water tankers.
Yes, we are busy. We are coming from the executive committee meeting, a special meeting which we convened earlier on today at 9 o'clock. The plan is being worked out. We have already started in the area where we are now in Ward 15. We have seen some of the water tankers starting to come to the area to provide water. They are not going to be adequate because our resources do not allow us to have many cars as possible. But what we are trying to do is to ensure that each and every area that has been affected, at least they have at least one tanker that will provide them with the clean water that they require. In other areas, we'll be dealing with the issues of ensuring that we put static tanks so that we fill those static tanks to allow communities to access water through static tanks to ensure there is adequate supply of water in those areas.
And on Tuesday, you went on public to say that you, even in your area, didn't have water. How is the situation now?
Yes, no, even in my area, the mayor doesn't have water. I'm part of the community, yes. I don't have water as we speak. Okay. But we are working on it, as I said. Once we can fix in under dam pumping station, we are able to pump water. Although it's going to take some time, but it's going to bring about change to those communities that have been severely affected.
Okay,
Siyabonga nathi.
Okay, let me ask our camera person, Uthulani Ngobo, if you can just, Mapoloba, if you can just follow me. Speaking of the water that's being wasted, as you can see, Thulani Ngobo is showing you the water that's being wasted, but the mayor is saying that it will be fixed as they are trying their level best in order to ensure that they do restore the kind of situation that has been unfolding here in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, which has resulted in a loss of millions of rands, if not billions of rands. This infrastructure being broken, property as well as businesses that have also been broken. Will that said, it's back to you in the studio for now.